I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hi guys, welcome back to Call to Stage with me, Amber Davies. Now, I have a fellow Welshie sitting next to me. It's the superstar, John Owen Jones.
Superstar?
Yes.
Really? Okay, well, that's very nice of you.
Firstly,
Do you do this with all your guests? You butter them up and then go in for the kill with a killer question later on? You make them feel all lovely and then you ask them something really personal. Is that what you do?
Only my Welshies.
Oh, God, okay.
Firstly, I want to say congratulations on Gatsby.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah.
I will be doing it with you.
Are you? Fuck it. Sorry, I'm allowed to swear. Sorry. I didn't know that. I can't believe that. Who are you playing?
He had no idea. He just told me about Gatsby and I thought he has no idea.
No.
I'm playing Jordan.
Oh, of course you are. There we are. Of course you are.
I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Well, yes, you will be. And the thing is, I was in for a costume fitting and your name wasn't on the list.
No,
see, so.
I accepted quite late.
Yeah, I think they were pushing it quite close. Do you know who's playing Nick?
Corbin Blue.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter's flipped a lid. So my daughter, my daughter, High School Musical fan and Love Island fan, she can't believe what I'm doing at the moment.
She has no idea we're going to be working together.
No.
I knew you didn't know.
I had no idea, no. It's a great cast, though.
It's
a
cracking.
phenomenal cast, yeah.
So in real time for you guys, we are announcing tomorrow. Obviously, this is going to go out in a few months' time.
Yeah.
But I was just so dying to tell John that I'm his Jordan. Are you excited?
Oh, that's great. And I walked in here before we started rolling, I was telling you how good I thought you were in Back to the Future. Now I get to see your technique close up. It's very exciting.
Thank God you didn't come in thinking you were shit.
No, you were honestly brilliant.
Thank
you were nearly as good as the car.
Who can beat the DeLorean? No one.
Yeah, it's like that old Chitty Chitty Bang Bang story when Michael Ball was swanning around pretending he was the lead, but actually
it was the car.
It was just the car.
Firstly, I ask all of my guests this. Pick any role you've ever played.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a weird pre-show ritual that you've had to do before doing?
Oh, yeah.
Go
definitely.
on then.
Well, I mean, it started when I was doing Phantom because it was a long time sitting in the makeup chair, and I did it for 4.5 years, something like that. And so I would put heavy metal on because I'm a big heavy metal fan.
Yeah.
In fact, just before I walked in here, I was listening to Metallica.
Okay.
And so every night, to get me in the mood for doing the show as well, I would put on all sorts of different types of heavy metal. And, the dressing room backstage at Her Majesty's, as it was then, was quite close to the auditorium. Okay. So I used to get ushers coming in and asking me to turn the metal down and everything. But my dresser was a really lovely old school dresser called Richard. Like he was in his, I would say, nearly 60 at the time. And, he would listen to jazz and Cole Porter and stuff like that. But by the end of my time there, he was a massive fan of Rammstein, the German techno metal band. Yeah, who've you never heard of, have you?
No.
But
were you the reason he converted?
Yeah, so he used to polish my shoes every night. And that was his job. And he would say, oh, can I have some Rammstein on? And they sing in German as well.
Oh, wow.
And really, really heavy stuff. So
niche.
Yeah. But then I've carried that on throughout that. It helps me get in the mood. And also when I finish a show, I clean my mind of Andrew Lloyd Webber or Claude Michel Schoenberg by listening to Judas Priest or...
Isn't it funny, as an audience member, they're watching a Phantom who's just been rocking out to heavy metal in his dressing room?
Yeah.
You'd never think it.
Well, I don't know. If you ever saw me do it, you might. Yeah.
I didn't see you do it.
Oh, no, you were probably too young, weren't you?
I don't think I was born.
Well, come on, that's good God. I was right. So you do butter people up and then you're really horrible to them in the interview, aren't you? That's incredible.
I think if I'm mean to you, it means I like you. Or I think I can get on with you so I can be sharp.
Look, it's a Welsh sense of humour thing as well.
It is.
Yeah.
Also, Welshies stick together. I feel like in a room full of people, Welshies will always gravitate towards one another.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Because we're just as insane as each other.
Yeah.
Loose screw.
I just think we're honest people.
Yeah.
I think that's it. We're not mad.
I am.
Oh, yeah?
Speak for yourself.
Oh, God. How long's the run of Gatsby? 4 months, is it? 5 months?
Altogether 6.
It's going to feel like a year. Yeah.
Okay, you trained at the Royal Central School of Speech
And drama.
and Drama.
Yeah, or Central as it's known.
Central. Oh, now is it called Central?
Well, it
Oh,
was
okay.
always, so, okay, right. So
Oh, yeah,
Central
Central.
is a very famous drama school. Judy Dench went there. Laurence Olivier went there. It
Yeah.
started at the Royal Albert Hall.
Okay.
Some of the rooms backstage there. And then it became its own thing. And it's only become royal in the last few years. But,
Okay.
you know, the year below me, Martin Freeman. The year above me, Catherine Tate. It was just a very, fertile place at the time. So, yeah, it was a brilliant place to be.
It was the place to be.
At that time, yeah. I think drama schools have little times when they're in vogue and they're the coolest place to go. And I happened to go there when it was very cool. So.
But look, how did you even know to go there? You come from, I imagine, like me, a small town in Wales. Yeah. How did you back then as well, there was no social media to follow a route or a path. What made you go there?
Well, I was part of a youth theatre, the youth theatre down in South Wales. And, you know, we all kind of wanted to be actors and everything like that. And, you know, the guy who was running it, Chris Rees, kind of knew the game. And he said, you should audition for drama schools. And that was the only way into the business then. There was no, you know, like competitions on television, singing, what were they called?
It was
I Do Anything and all that stuff. None of that existed. So you had to do it the traditional way. And I came into the acting business in the 90s. So that was before you were born, right? When were you born?
96.
Yeah. So I was a professional actor for a year before you were born.
Oh my gosh.
God. And yet I still look as young as you do.
Honestly, you couldn't tell us apart.
So, you know, it was again, my youth theatre was incredibly successful with the people that came from this small town. We had this great place, this place to learn and grow. And then a lot of us went to drama schools. And, you know, I auditioned for, I think, half a dozen. I got into all of them. And apart from Mountview, I don't know why, what I got wrong there, but I got into RADA, I got into Lambda, I got into Guildhall, and I got into Central. But I picked the one that I had the nicest vibe. That's literally all it was.
Yeah.
You know.
I always say finding a drama school or an agent is like finding a therapist. You know, not one fits all.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Have you had many agents? You got just one or two? Or?
I'm quite a loyal person, so I've only ever had one musical theatre agent.
Okay.
And I don't think I could. I emotionally so attached.
Well, I mean, I think I've had 3 in my 30-year career. So.
That's good, though, you know, to change things up, keep it fresh.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like, you know, people die. So, you know, agents die or retire and you move on, you know, or the company folds or they break into different companies or whatever.
Who are you with now, then?
Scott Marshall Partners, quite a bijou little thing, you know, but they've got some great people on their books, you know, like Susan Wokoma, do you know her?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and Joe Riding and, you know, people like me and stuff. So, but nobody, you know, spectacularly famous.
Except
so
for
they
you.
can concentrate on everyone. Apart from me.
You're their star.
Yeah, of course.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but your
will.
West End debut was Les Mis.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, yeah.
So did you audition straight out of college?
Well, I was the only person in my year in drama school to leave without an agent.
Okay.
You know, at drama school, you do showings for, you know, agents and people in the industry and directors and stuff. I was the only one in my year to leave without an agent. I couldn't click with any of them. But I left straight into work. I auditioned for a show up in Harrogate Theatre. Then I went from job to job to job to job, including Les Mis, which I auditioned for on my own back. You know, wrote to them, sent CVs and stuff. This is what you had to do in the old days. You had to, you know, get headshots printed up and, you know, had to type out your CV and send things off. No emails, none of that existed. No. The mobile phone didn't exist properly when I became an actor.
That is crazy.
And so the only way to do it was to do it yourself. So then I worked solidly, you know, for 2.5 years, including repertory theatre, a bit of telly, some voiceovers. I did the West End, I did the National, and as soon as I signed with an agent, I didn't work for nearly a year. Because I stopped doing the work. I stopped pushing for it, you know? And it was a very valuable lesson for me to learn.
John, I've got to say, my motto in life is do it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's so crazy that you say that.
Well, it's completely the only way to do it. You can't rely on anyone. You know, look, people can tell you they love you, right? But do you really know? You know, we're getting deep now, but you don't really know because they're just telling you.
Yeah.
You know, I have no idea if they really, really mean it like the way I feel love towards someone.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the same in industry and business. You know, oh, you're the best thing. Oh, you're going to get this job. then you never hear from these people again.
Yeah.
You've just got to trust yourself. You can't rely on anyone to help you. Having said that, our industry is all about collaboration.
It is.
So you've got to put your trust in people that you would never normally trust.
I know.
So it's difficult.
Wow.
But I'm still here. You know.
I mean,
but because I create my own work, I do stuff for myself, which
I
we're going to
think
talk about, aren't we?
that is really a good, valuable top tip when it comes to this industry is you've got to do a lot of the workload yourself. And I think sometimes it's frowned upon to do that and go against, your agent, but it's not. Like, go for it, go.
Yeah, absolutely. And your agent isn't necessarily someone who gets you work. What they do, in my opinion, is they get you the money.
Negotiate
So
well.
yeah, so I've got a great agent. I've had great agents, but I've often got the work myself, and then they take my personality out of the equation, and they get the best deal they can from me.
Yeah.
I can't go into a producer and say I want £1 million a day.
Yeah.
Because it's arrogant.
Yeah.
And they don't like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Also, you're the youngest Jean Valjean in the history of the show.
Yeah.
That's mental. How old were you?
I was 26. It's been going a long time. It's a numbers game. Somebody had to be the youngest.
But I'm saying, like, you're still the youngest to this day.
Yeah.
26 years old as Jean Valjean.
How old are you now, do you say?
Nearly 30.
So that makes me better than you then, doesn't it? Because you've not done that. Actually. Wait, how old were you when you won Love Island?
I was 20, and I did my West.
You're better than me then. Okay.
And I did my West End debut as a leading lady at 21.
As a leading lady, yeah. Well, I could never be a leading lady, so
So I beat you.
Yeah. Though it's a dream of mine to drag up on stage one day. One day.
Is it?
Yeah. What was your original question?
Youngest to Jean Valjean in the history of the show. Did you feel pressure?
No.
You've never felt. I don't feel like you're the type of person to feel pressure.
Yeah, you do. Actually, funnily enough, as you get older, you do. Look, when you're young, you think you can take anything on, don't you? And also, I was given this incredible opportunity in a show I loved to do a role I loved at such a young age. I grabbed it with both hands, you know? And I knew it would open doors for me. And this was before social media or anything like that, you know? So I was lucky enough to be able to learn how to be a good Jean Valjean without the glare of people on Twitter, slagging me off and stuff. So,
I like that. I love that so much.
I was lucky in that way.
Yeah.
But also unlucky in the way that I had to really put the work in to get the work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Old school. You've got old school written all over you. I love that.
Just old.
We must talk about Phantom.
Yeah.
Because you have performed Phantom more than anyone else in the world.
Not true. No. That's slightly... I've done it more than anyone in the West End. Right?
Okay, not in the world.
Yeah, there's other actors in America who've done it a lot more than me, and people always confuse that little thing. They never quite read my biography properly, Amber.
Okay, so shall I just say then, even if it's not in the world and it's in London...
Yeah.
That's still impressive. You've done more than 2,000 shows.
Nearly 2,000.
That's crazy.
Did I send you the wrong CV? I think I might have. No, it's a lot. I did, I think, 1,500 or 1,600 in a row. I think that's the most in a row. And, it was a great job,
Big sing.
Not as big as people think, but, you know what it's like once you've sung a role into your voice. It's, are you thirsty? Or once you've sung a role into your voice, it's there,
I'm a lot like that. God, that's so crazy because, some people can build up a complex about a certain like sing or a certain role. And I have exactly the same mindset. Once I finished rehearsals and it's in there, it's in. It's not going to go.
Yeah, and you need that time as well. You need that 5-6 weeks to kind of get it into your body.
Yeah.
I
completely agree.
It's incredibly important because you're running a marathon every night, 8 times a week. It's really hard.
I know.
Certainly when you're doing big roles, and you just become show fit. That's all it is.
And then with Phantom and Les Mis, because you've gone back to them, and you've done them for so many years. Is that heavy? Because the story you tell, the feeling you have to give every night, that passion, they're massive roles. Like, was it exhausting?
It became exhausting. Yeah, when I first started it, I was finding new stuff all the time, and Phantom in particular is not this is going to sound contentious, but it's not as well written as Les Mis, right?
Yeah.
It's there's less to do with that character. He's a little bit, there's less dimensions to him than Jean Valjean. So after a long period of time, I came to the point where like, I can't, I'm losing the joy of this now, but I can't find anything new in it. So I left. But Valjean, I've gone in and out a lot because there's always new ways of doing it. And as you get older, you identify with different stages of that character's story arc.
Yeah, life experience.
Yeah.
So you'd always go back in a different way.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did it at 26, very young, met my wife on the job, left, did other stuff, came back, had kids. And I remember Kate Flatt, the movement director, the original movement director from the RSC, she was like, you're like a totally different actor. But I'm playing the same role. And I was doing what I thought was the same stuff, but it came with history. It's interesting, isn't it?
That is so interesting, and also an amazing opportunity to do one role in multiple different lifetimes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love
and
that.
I've been lucky enough to do it all over the world as well. So
I know.
You know, perform with different audiences, different styles of actors and stuff. It's been really fascinating.
Well, you're taking me on. It's like you know what I'm going to say. I mean, you've performed just in this is a couple of places: London, Tokyo, Sydney, New York, Moscow, France. Like, how do you feel that you firstly are in an industry that you love and it pays you well, and you travel the world and perform in front of, you know, so many multicultural people? How does that feel? Does it ever get old?
Like you, I'm from a small town in Wales. I can't believe I can't believe I'm even in a room doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like I feel blessed all the time. And also I'm grounded because I actually live in Croydon. So, you know, I don't have a massive townhouse in Chelsea or anything. I live in Croydon and I go back to my little house in Croydon and, well, actually it's quite a big house, but I go back to my big house in Croydon and life's normal, you know? And I still have to, you know, pick my dog's poo up when he go for a walk and, you know, fix the toilet seat and all that kind of stuff.
Did you ever anticipate that, you know, when you went to Central, how old were you, that you would travel the world?
Well, I knew there was an opportunity to do it. But back in the day, all I wanted was, I had three main ambitions when I was an actor. And one was to work in the West End, play the Phantom. It was four, actually. So work in the West End, play the Phantom, play Valjean, and work with Sondheim. And I did them all within 5 years. So then I had to make up new stuff.
Wow.
And I'm still making up new stuff. You know, it's long been an ambition to be on the Call to Stage podcast, for example. Now I've finally ticked it off.
Dreams come true.
Yeah, they do come true.
I'm making dreams come true out here, guys. Could you tell me one thing on your new ambitious list?
Oh my God, that is really hard. I mean, I want to become a producer. I want to move away from acting because I've got to that age now where it just gets harder and harder. And physically, emotionally, it's more tiring, you know, and it'll come to you as well. I mean, you're very clever. Like I've had to do this. You're diversifying. You can't stay in the same job. I know people who've done Phantom for 30 years. Don't know how they do it. I did it for long enough, but then I had to move on and find something else to satisfy my soul.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I want to be a producer. I want to learn how to do that. I want to direct a bit more. All those kind of things that people at my age who've been in the industry as an actor for a while tend to do.
Yeah.
You know, but it's harder for me because I've got kind of boxed into the Phantom Limis thing, which is fine. But, you know, because I mean, God, I'm grateful for them, you know. But people only see me as that sometimes.
Do you think?
Yeah. So, I mean, I spent since the pandemic, trying to do stuff that surprises people. So,
Yeah.
you know, like I did Bake Off the musical, played Paul Hollywood.
Was going to talk about
People
that.
were like, what on earth is this? You know, I did actually drag up then. I did finally achieve that. But I did La Cage aux Folles at Regent's Park, and you know, I was, you know, on stage in a tutu and makeup, and that was interesting. And you know, and then I worked in Paris a year or so ago, and got my testicles out on stage. So just, you know, testing the waters, doing new stuff, you know.
John, I have no idea what's going to come out of your mouth. Like, you are the
As
most...
the actress said to the bishop. Yeah, look, it's just like...
You are catching me off guard so much.
So sorry. I mean, none of this can be used.
The
You'll have to put an
testicles are
age warning on.
staying in,
Yeah.
trust me.
I'll show you a picture of them later. They weren't mine. They were They weren't mine. It's a long story, but if people who saw that show were absolutely gobsmacked at what we were doing with it.
Really?
Yeah, a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum in Paris. Amazing. I mean, come on. I was living in Paris for 3 months.
I know, that's iconic.
Oh my God. Yeah, incredible. An amazing
Yeah.
apartment. I've been very lucky to do stuff like that, but I've been trying to do stuff that, I made a decision. So in the pandemic, I lost my mother, my father, and my brother.
Okay.
And I made a decision then, I'm not going to do anything that I don't either enjoy, get paid a lot of money for,
Yeah.
or challenges me.
Okay.
So, just recently I went into If Then, this staged concert of If Then.
That was recently.
Yeah, it was actually Monday, and
Yeah.
there's another one on Monday. Yeah, and I got the call on the Thursday. They started rehearsal on the Monday, and I thought, it's not a big part, but the challenge is to do it, and learn everything and be off book in 2 weeks and do a whole show in 2 weeks. And Kerry Ellis is leading the show, and she's absolutely phenomenal. She's a good friend of mine. Just the challenge of that was well, can I do it? But working with a bunch of like-minded people towards a common goal was thrilling, And I'm really looking forward to Gatsby. That'll be a challenge as well.
Especially working with me, sir.
Yes, no, it's going to be a massive challenge.
Especially working with me.
And it's going to be a massive challenge to shine in that cast, because there's some amazing performances.
Oh, yeah. John, I'm sure you'll be fine.
Well, it's another great role. I'm getting to that age now where I don't play the leads. I play the
supporting
characters.
leads.
Yeah, and it's fun because I don't have to worry about. I don't have to carry the weight of the show much.
Exactly, you've done that. You've literally dedicated years of your life carrying shows on your shoulders. Now, just be a part of a cast. Enjoy the story. We'll have so much fun.
And then go on holiday.
Go on holiday.
Yeah.
Getting yourself a new car.
Oh no, I don't care about that kind of stuff. You think I might?
Get yourself a new watch.
No, I've got this. Is nice. This is fine. My Tag Heuer £4,000 watch. But that is. Can we get a sponsorship deal, please? This is one of my only things that I've done. That was a bit of a. I bought it as a 40th birthday present to myself. It only ever comes out for things like this.
Aww.
Normally wear an Apple Watch every day, because I want to get my steps in and everything. But this,
because
I know I'm on camera, so if you ever see me in concerts or anything, the pictures are always I've pushed the watch down there and I'm holding the mic with that hand, so it's always in the shot, just in the hope that I might get a sponsorship.
Oh my gosh, I hope to God now you get a sponsorship with them.
Of course I won't.
Sweeney Todd
at
the English National Opera.
Yeah.
You worked with Bryn Terfel and Emma Thompson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How was that?
That was amazing. Again, it comes back to what we were talking about. I did nothing really in that show.
Okay.
I remember Emma really suffered from stage fright. God, she's so good, right? But that world is not her thing at all. Incredibly bold of her to try and do it. And she was brilliant. And then I remember Bryn telling me that, I'm not a very good actor. I'm like, what are you talking about? One of the best operatic actors I've ever seen. And, we're very good friends. I saw him just the other day. And, it was a great privilege. And Philip Quast was in it as well, who's a legend. And to stand, do my bit, steal a show for 5 minutes, disappear, and then just watch them from the wings and learn,
I love that.
And the money was sensational, Amber. It's such a big theatre. Because what your listeners and watchers might not know is that there's a grade of pay. It's scaled towards the size of the venue.
Yeah, I don't think they do. Explain to them what that means.
Yeah, so, obviously, it's all just simple maths, isn't it? So if you're working in a 5,000 seat arena, you get paid more because there's more ticket income.
Yeah.
If you're working in a 200 seater, it's less. But the Coliseum, I think, is the biggest theatre in Britain. Maybe just in London, but it's a massive venue, and so they can make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's bigger than the Palladium.
Oh,
I only figured that out when I knew.
And you've not worked there before, have you? It's because it's when you're in the venue watching, you seem really far away, but on stage, it's incredibly intimate. It's a brilliant venue.
Heart palpitations.
Yeah.
And then you worked with Dame Judy Dench in A Little Night Musical at the National.
A Little Night Music, yeah.
A music.
A Little Night Music, Stephen Sondheim, that's when I worked with Sondheim.
Okay.
And I'd known Judy for years anyway because her daughter was in drama school with me. And I used to live in Judy's house. So
you used to live in Judy Dench's house?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, elaborate. You can't just full stop me on that.
Right, okay. So Judy had, she lives not far from where I live now.
Okay.
I'm not sure where Finty lives at the moment, but so basically it was like a party house, right? Because Judy had this house in the country, and this is when Mike was still alive, bless him, her husband.
Okay.
And So whenever she was working in town, she'd stay in this house in Hampstead. And it was round the corner from David Hare and Nicole Farry, who used to pop in every now and then. So I was going out with a girl who was staying there. And then, so I went there a lot, got on very well with Finty. And then I split up with this girl, and then I ended up staying there. And I remember I went back to Wales because my dad was running a butcher shop. And I was working in the butcher shop when I was not in drama school. And I don't know if you remember this happening. You probably don't, but the house burned down. So there was like, Finty had left a candle burning and it caught fire and stuff. So this incredible house, and they had BAFTAs and Evening Standard Awards and, all these Oliviers all over the house, and all gone. Antiques and things like that. Incredible, like handwritten drawings of when she was originally in Cats, Judy Dench. She had this, all burnt down.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
and I was living there at the time, and I remember Finty calling me up and saying, "You can't go back." So why not? I burnt the house down. I'm like, oh right, okay. And then I had to go back to chopping steaks and stuff in my dad's shop. It's all very surreal. Anyway, so I lived there for a bit of time, and when I was doing a Little Night Music with Judy, we were living there at the same time.
So you were living together, commuting together, working together.
Yeah.
Casual.
Yeah, I know. I haven't spoken to her in years though, but what a legend. I mean, you couldn't find a nicer person in the business.
Really? That makes me so happy.
She's everything you could possibly imagine. In fact, I've always said this about people, actually. The people who really last in this industry are the nice ones.
Yeah, that is true.
All the wankers, they burn brightly, then they're kicked out.
You want to mention your podcast.
Yes.
You have your own theatre-based podcast.
Which you're going to be a guest on.
Alistair Brammer.
Yeah.
I will be. I've said it here. I will be. You ask your guests, if you only had one day left to live, what show would you like to see?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you.
Well, I'm going to save that for an episode of my podcast, aren't I? I'm not going to tell you. I want people to listen to my podcast. So the podcast is called, if you're listening now, go on to Google and Google The Last Show on Earth.
Yeah.
It's an idea I got when I was working with Michael Ball. We were bored backstage once, and I said, "Oh, what's your death row meal? What are you going to eat, if you were sentenced to death?" And I said, "Well, what show would you see?" And then he gave me an answer, and then 5 minutes later, he goes, "Actually, no, this is the other answer." Then I asked everyone in the cast this question, and they all had different answers, and I went, So then me and Alistair Brammer were talking, and we've been mates for ages, and we make each other laugh. And I said, why don't we just do a podcast? And what about this as an idea? So then we've had guests on, like, all sorts of people. We've had Matt Lucas, Carrie Hope Fletcher, Gary Giannetti, a guy who wrote Family Guy.
Wow.
We've had Michael Ball, Aaron Tveit, Lucy Jones, Ivan Oblizada, Philip Quast, Bertie Carvel. Loads and loads of people, right? And they've all had, everyone, without even trying, has had a different answer. What show would you see if you had 24 hours to live? It can be any show from history, a show you've been in, a show you've made up. I mean, Lucy Jones made up her own show. So did Killian Donnelly when he did it. They created shows. Trevor Dear-Nicholas, we had to split his episode into two because not only had he made up his own show, he'd written the script, he'd cast it. It was crazy.
Wow.
But we also asked people, what would be your interval drink watching the show? Who would you go with? Where would you go for dinner afterwards?
Love it.
So it's a very theatrical podcast without talking to people about their careers and their process and stuff. Because it's
like
fun.
that.
It's a different angle into it,
Yeah, because
and it's funny. We've written all the music for it. There's games in it and stuff. Yeah, I think you'll be an excellent guest.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that.
And I'm going to ask you who the most annoying person you ever worked with is on the podcast.
No, you need to ask me who was the biggest wanker.
Oh, biggest
wanker.
wanker.
I could tell you. Trust me.
Well, tell me now on your podcast. No, okay, no.
And finally, before we move on to the questions on our Patreon, please tell me the feeling of singing the Wales national anthem on the pitch for the Wales v England Six Nations rugby game.
Well, that's a nice question I wasn't expecting. And I can tell you it was a long time a dream of mine. I'm a big rugby fan. I grew up in Buryport, a small town next to Llanelli, which has one of the best rugby teams in the world, the Scarlets. And, it was been a part of my life for a long, long time. I played rugby, was terrible at it. But when I got the opportunity to do that, it was incredible because my mother and father were there. This was not long before they actually died. But my mother had never seen an international rugby game. And I'm on the ground singing the anthem, and I'm singing Delilah, getting the crowd going. I saw Bryn Terfel in the box, waved at him. Catherine Jenkins was there. got a choir of 150 people around me, you know, and we beat the English. We went on to win the championship, and my mother had never seen a rugby game before. She saw Wales beat England in Cardiff, and her son sang the anthem. It was amazing.
It's like your mum was the lucky charm.
Oh my God, yeah.
Or you.
It's never happened again. I mean, they've stopped having solo artists doing it. They just have choirs now. But oh my God, what a dream.
I mean, and that was a box
A
ticking
proper,
moment for
you know,
you.
bucket list moment. Yeah.
Wow.
I've been very lucky. I mean, you know, I've done pretty much everything I've wanted to do. You know, I'm very, very lucky. I can't complain about anything.
You are, and I can't wait to work with you.
Yeah, and then you realise that
You're
I'll
a
be the
massive
biggest
dick.
wanker that you've ever worked with, yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. And if you want to listen to John answering your personal questions, stick around on the Patreon.